Hey, Uppity Unicorn here. Let's see here. Let's start off with a couple of the comments. Hey, when Tay talks. Hey, astute Queen Bee. Hey, Uppity will be in the bushes. Good to see you. So we have a very special guest with us. Uh, I don't know if you guys, well, if you haven't heard of the song "Sexy Soulaan," you've been living under a rock. But the song by Mona Leo, it went pretty viral. Hit single "Sexy Solon," Black American Princess, and probably posted in the hood like innocence. Yeah, so that song wasn't gonna happen without the co-creator of the term here. And so this ethnonym has taken off as a name for us as a people. Hey, brown skin girl. Uh, so, one of the things we're going to talk about is how we have been reclassified as a group of people, and the series of reclassification has basically reclassified us out of our identity, out of our land patents, out of our ownership, out of our rights to the land and the culture. So, without further ado, if I may, I would like to introduce to you Brother Dwayne Coleman. Brother Dwayne. And while he unmutes himself, I'm going to go on ahead and get to the first media asset here. So go on ahead and like the video, share the video because this is pertinent to our people. For those of us who do not know, Black American people are smack dab in the middle of a cultural renaissance. We have been suffering at the hands of, well, culture vultures and people who would like to divvy us up in so many ways, right? You have the African Union who decided they wanted to claim us as the sixth region. Why they wouldn't claim Brazil, I don't know, considering that Brazil is the blackest nation or even the most African nation outside of Nigeria, outside of Africa. But oh, nice little highs and hellos from my girls. Um,
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me?
yeah, and you sound good. Your volume's great. Your sound is great. So I was hoping we could open with a little introduction.
Oh, my introduction. My name is Dwayne. Primarily, my work focus on cultural clarification, our population formation here in the United States, and our long-term self-determination for an autochthonous American people whose identity developed on this great nation through centuries of ecological adaptation, historical continuity, and even social formation. So the Soulaan Ethanum and then the framework is this to pretty much address the long-standing issue in the modern system, where a population is poorly defined and needs are poorly understood and poorly served. I mean, we see in all aspects of activity, especially in the medical field and even with our nutrition ecology. So I'll end it right there.
All right, that works for me. Uh, can we talk about some common misconceptions when it comes to the term Solan?
So first of all, the first misconception is that Solon is just another word for Black or African American. So Solon started as Soul American. Um, the A was pretty much added for pretty much aesthetic purposes, and then there were some bad actors um, that wanted to redefine the term from Soul American to Soul African American, but we got hold of that. So us and the creators and group of peers, we just made it to a Toxic American, and then we had to trademark it as well. So make sure these bad actors don't try to redefine term, because Solon was pretty much created because we didn't want to call ourselves African American. So why would that dismiss the purpose if we're going to go back and call ourselves Soul African American? Another misconception, which there was like a couple websites that was spreading this, or a specific website that spread it. It has something to do with um, Southern, our Southern people. I'm like, it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with every Soulan person here. in our ethnic group. Um, Soulaan is a ethnic identifier. Soulaan is a lineage and a population-specific ethnonym, and it's not a racial umbrella. So the second misconception is it is Pan-African or a diaspora-based concept. It is not. Soulaan is rooted in the American autochthony, the American indigeneity, the American Aboriginal experience, meaning a people whose identity formed in place, just pretty much to tripicate um, those three words, um, through time,
Mhm.
ecology, biologically, and through historical experience on this land. And then the third misconception that is symbolic or aesthetic. In reality, it's really functional. It's pretty much the first non-colonial term, one non-colonial ethnonym that we pretty much adapted. Actually, the soul, autochthonous, and they're American. Every other ethnonym, they use some form of the colonial systems. Not to our own horn, by the way, but um, it's meant to support accurate data collection,
Mm.
be clear in design, and made for possibly any more restorative frameworks and cultural clarity. So all of this that which modern sovereign societies depend on. So as you hear it on the news, when countries get attacked, they're always like, "Oh, we gotta respect their sovereignty. We gotta respect their sovereignty." So y'all have to respect our humanity. You got to respect our sovereignty as well. Um,
Right.
you got to, because the movement we're going to, I don't even call it the delineation movement. I call it a human rights movement. It's a human rights process. It's because they've been denying our humanity for since our autogenesis. So, but yeah, I end it right there.
Okay. Definitely one of the things that I love about this term is that it is so specific and that it is so definitive. It is so narrowly tailored. Um, in undergrad, right? A lifetime ago. The term African American, I had just gotten back from South Africa. I had just gotten back from studying abroad in South Africa. And there were these white South African students at my university, like, oh, I'm more African American than you are. And I'm like, what are you? I was so offended. And it's like, well, I'm an African and I have American citizenship and I was born on the great mother continent of Africa. So therefore, I am more African American than you are. And people like, I believe it was Amaru Fadl, Myron Gaines of Fresh and Fit said something similar about being, a true African American because he's actually African. And this term, this African American, I was just sending my mother, my family and I were all over 23andMe. So we're going through some birth certificates and African American is not even on my birth certificate. It's not on my mother's birth certificate. It's not on my grandmother's birth certificate. And when it comes to people like Walter Plecker reclassifying these indigenous Black Americans as colored, and then again to Negro, and then again to, well, we'll get into that. I think Solon speaks to that and reclaims that history, and that kind of makes me um, really care for the movement and feel seen by it. So why is Solon as an ethnonym? Why is Solon as an ethnonym so important?
Because clarity improves outcomes. So across history, communities that secured any type of durable protections or resources did so by being clearly defined as a population formation on their geography and their land, not treated as vague categories. So when people are folded into broad racial groupings, such as black means all black racial groups of Africa. I don't even, it's a porous term. And obviously African American as well.
Hmm.
Their specific histories exposes, or specific history exposures and outcomes pretty much disappear. So with Soulaan, it provides a population level clarity that's historical, cultural, and pretty much material without requiring any hostility towards anyone else.
When I think of clarity improving outcomes, I think immediately of how Black people in America, especially when Black immigrants began to pour in, we believed in kind of this flat Blackness, like, welcome to being Black, you're Black, you're Black. And they'd be like, no, I'm Haitian. No, I'm Dominican. No, I'm other than you. I'm, insert other thing. And that proved to be true because we see these people. I growing up, I'm a former Pan Africanist. So growing up, it was like, elect whoever's Black, whoever's running, and they're Black, elect them, and then we'd elect them, and it's like they're voting against reparations. It's like, well, why? I think a guy Byron Donald or something like this. Like, well, I'm voting against reparations because my mother wouldn't get any. My parents are from Trinidad and Panama, so I'm against it. And it's like, bro, you are in the way, and you're in the way in the worst way because you have my face or you have my skin color. You speak like me, you sound like me, and you look like you're speaking for me, but you are in my way in the worst way. And
And and,
so,
th-
go
now
ahead.
you sound very important. You said Black people in America and then Black immigrants and stuff like that. So um, yeah, you said something very important. And it goes to what I said. Black is a porous term. Black can be mean Black immigrants as well as quote unquote Black people in America. And I'll also say I'll use Black in a more autobiocultural sense. So
Mm,
in in an internal conversation like this, I know both of us are Soulaan people, so we'll use the Black because it has a biocultural meaning to it. Um, Obviously, Black Belt, um, the areas in the United States, Black soil,
mhm.
Black culture means us as well, and that's why I said I'm pretty much I don't even want to say the word delineation. I think we should, just my opinion, this is my own individual opinion. I think we should retire the word delineation because delineation from who? We're a specific population specific people in the United States. I'm not delineating for nobody. It's more of a demarcation, demarcation actually, demarcation actually, and that means fixing boundaries or limits of something. So
Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense to me. Uh,
demarcation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I keep
Demarcation.
on. Yeah.
No,
So
I
this is a
understand.
demarcation. So I wouldn't say delineation. I'm not delineating from nobody. So I'm like delineating for who? Delineating from my brother in California, another Soulan person in California. I mean that's kind of like delineation.
Right.
Separate because I'm not delineating for because I'm not African. I'm not delineating for Caribbean because I'm not Caribbean. I'm not either of those people. So not to pretty much get into that, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
I've never heard that perspective, but I understand it straight away. So, we touched on this a bit earlier, but can you walk us through the history of renaming and reclassification of our people?
Yeah. So essentially, over the time the population has been repeatedly renamed and reclassified and misclassified in ways that served administratively or political convenience, such as getting land or um, less sovereignty, um, less monetary value for our people, from specific ancestral and regional identifiers to Negro to color, from color to black, from black to black / African American. So each shift reduced specificity. While some terms were useful in their era, the cumulative effect was ecological and historic flattening. So Sulon wouldn't be a rebrand; it would be an attempt to restore that continuity where classification disrupted, and we do it in our hands. It's not none of those other terms that um, the colonial powers named us.
Right.
Well, I can say was an American Negro, just to caveat, American Negro has been decolonialized by the OMB. So Um, but I know there's actually I'll just end it right there. So won't see too much.
Okay, definitely when it comes to the cumulative effect that is basically historically flattening, I think of straight away, I think of Black History Month. I think of Black History Month, and I don't want to be too, I don't want to do too much on it, but it's like it becomes about everybody else's history. And I'm like, this is about us.
Yeah, I actually saw it in real time a couple years ago. I seen it was an African woman. She was dressed up in a garb, and literally at the I guess the gathering at my job, they were bringing food, soul food. But I mean, I believe it was a Ghanaian woman. She sent her herself. Um,
ugh,
Kind of knowing the Black History Month was specifically for American Negroes, but I mean
right.
but that's besides the point. I mean, since it's flattening, then I guess it's for everybody. But I mean, but historically, it's specifically for us. But what is what it is.
Yeah, and I feel like that flattening is like a doorway to how people become culture vultures because a lot of people think that they get to integrate into our lineage somehow. Like they get to become this thing that is African American, which is why we don't want to use the term anymore because it's like you don't get it. We're a lineage, we're an ethnic group, we're our own people. You like they don't get it. It's like, oh, I'm a Haitian American, but I'm also African American. I'm a Somali American, but I'm also African American, and I can say the N word and hip hop this and that, and this is how I dress, and they look like us. These mimics, these cosplayers, these culture vultures, and it's like there's no respect for the culture, there's no true understanding for the culture, there's no value, and it's like disrespectful, and they don't get why we're offended. Like, why are you mad? It's like I can't go to Senegal and citizenship my way into being Wolof, and you know it. But some way, somehow, you can just citizenship your way into being my ethnicity, and for me, that's an issue. So I love that you're giving language to things that a lot of people could not describe here when you talk about this historical flattening, there are many people who are having this issue and maybe they feel bigoted or, disturbed by what they're feeling. We're very, in my personal opinion, Black Americans have been the seat of Pan Africanism, and it's uprooting that stuff is like pulling out weeds, blackberry bushes. It's going to take a while. But the pain of that historical flattening, that flat blackness, is definitely one of the talking points that gets people to understand why the term Solon is so desperately needed. So I just love that as a talking point. So, what social or civic gains are possible with this level of clarity that Solon brings to us as a people?
Several practical ones. So as you notice, I mean, several people who identify Solon. Pretty much we came out the gate putting the Black American Heritage flag pretty much on our back. We brought back old culture, even though there was probably people, there was individuals that probably knew about the Black American Heritage flag, but pretty much us as the youth, because I rediscovered it back in like end of 2018 to 2019. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, we brought the Black American Heritage flag to pretty much like the forefront, more into the kind of the mainstream grassroots conversation. Also, I mean, a lot of us speak Taiwanese. We also brought back like kind of the American root work, kind of back into the forefront as well. I mean,
Mm,
I have family members that practice root work and whatnot.
I do too.
Um, so I mean, I have family member practice for like over 30 years before he passed away. So
Mm,
um, yeah, so we're continuing doing. We continue making new cultures and then bring about old ones. Like for example, and also, for example, I mean, we got quite a few institutions. We got a lot of student associations and Ivy League schools or UCLA. There has yet to be one at a HBCU. Um, I mean, there's not too. I mean, as I think, actually, there might be a need for one. Actually, there might be a need for Soulaan Student or Soulaan Student Association at HBCU. Just for one of you.
absolutely.
especially for one of the some of the youth that could probably do it. Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, there's also several practical ones. So more accurate population data. As far as political advocacy, I'm not personally. I'm not into the. I'm post partisan and I'm post ideological. So there's, I guess, there's a couple people that identify as a Soulaan. They um, want to make a new racial term and then add Soulaan to it. Um, I know there was controversy there because there were some bad actors that said, "Oh, they're trying to get rid of black." I mean, the person who was doing the petition, I guess, for to make the new racial group and put Soulaan on it, they said none on the thing that she was talking about black. So I guess other Soulaan people are actually starting to do political advocacy as far as that for more accurate population, and we're more, I guess, technologically astute, so we know our wrap around kind of the crypto lane and different aspects of that. I'm not going to really get into that in a population data type of way, but that's some that that could be worked on right now. Also, better public health and environmental analysis. A lot of us been doing lot of research in our particularly Soulan neighborhoods, seeing how the environment's messing us up. Um, the um, the process of the urbanization of pretty much our parents or maybe our aunties that gave us autoimmune or gave them and a lot of us autoimmune diseases such as Crohn's disease,
Hmm.
um, MS, stuff like that. It's also in the food we eat as well. We're supposed to eat. We're supposed to eat what we're connected with. So that's why I say we're biologically Aborigine. If you heard me say that before, biologically American, because we're really connect from our ancestors. We're really connected to the food that we eat on this land. We're supposed to eat like bison. We're supposed to eat wood ducks and elk and deer. And pretty much stuff that's really specific to America. Like once we start eating processed foods and not to get on the environmental kick, but stuff like that, that's when the autoimmune diseases we get into. Even when you travel to different countries, you're supposed to eat the Atlanta line foods there, not too much of um, the processed foods. Also specific to our diet, we're supposed to have basically because our ancestors' labor regime per se, we're supposed to have a lot of collagen um, based on our joints and stuff like that. So there's a particular nutrition program that was regimen that we're supposed to have based on our biology. So um,
Absolutely.
also also cleared of restorative and reparative discussions. Basically, just something I said. I just talk about food. That's literally just an example of it. Um, More accurate discussions because we're focused on building. We're actually focused on kind of repairing, just doing it on our own instead of waiting on the government morality to try to do it or any other person. Because I mean, just like our the silent generation, just like our grandparents said or great grandparents, they had to get it on their own. So so we kind of learned from that generation. We didn't learn too much from Generation X, even though they did their job. They, like I said, the parents we they put food on the table and whatnot. I mean, we just learned like how much they suffer. They work in 20, 30 years and no huge outcomes like that. So there's still people that don't even gotta work in 20, 30 years, don't even got a house, a mortgage. They're still
Right.
rented. So
Right.
I mean, we just kind of learn Generation Z and then millennials. I mean, we just kind of learn from that, and then we just kind of proceed that way. Um, Also, like healthier cooperation across groups based on transparency. So with me, I'm not. Um, I drank the Kool Aid at one point. Like I got in a discourse with some of the immigrants, but I mean, with us also, what we're seeing with the older generation, they're just going pretty much on social media. They're just going back and forth with immigrants and stuff like that. I don't think it's really necessary. And then some of their first time to get into any type of political discourse, they're going in on immigrants and other type of stuff, or even talk about them. If you talk about immigrants, we're coming from a kind of a place of weakness. We give we do lessons on it, like through a lesson, like a case study. but we're
Right.
just talking about it saying, oh, they do this in the street or they're scammers and stuff. I mean, it's not really good. It's not really a good discourse, especially um, if we want to start businesses or we want to practice some type of diplomacy. And I get it. If that's your content and that's how you make money for your content, that's fine. So, um, but you gotta have institutions on top of that. Everybody can't be um, the good brother Tariq Nasheed, who built an actual education institution for the people, and there's a lot of potential in that. So
Right.
I think people are trying to reach to make content more than they're trying to actually have a healthier cooperation across groups based on
Bingo.
transparency. So we need to have that diplomacy because, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all, from an ecological humanist standpoint, we're all humans. We're all distinct humans. That's what pretty much ecological, like distinct biological humans, and that's how we got to pretty much look at it. We're not come from anywhere else. We're again biologically we're American, ecologically we're American. So as I broke down the nutrition with the lanolin diets, we gonna eat food in America. Um, if you don't get vaccinated and you just go to a country and then you try to eat their food that's uncooked and stuff like that, you gonna get sick. While here, I go to Texas, I go to California, I go to Nevada, I go to New York, I won't get sick. I go to Wyoming, I'm not gonna get sick because we're accustomed to the land mass already. So,
Right.
but again, it's all about cooperation. 'Cause we gotta. Cause that's the point. After we distinguish ourselves and we get our self determination and stuff like that, we still have to work within the confines of the United States. Again, immigrants are not going away. No one else is going away. Even though yes, they're deploying, but there's still going to be immigrants here. There's still going to be different types of people here. So
Right. I'm loving what you said about better public health and environmental analysis. I know that just briefly, my nephew, when he was younger, he dealt with really bad allergies, and I would give him local honey, and he wouldn't have allergies for the entire allergy season. So when my sister, my very bougie six-figure sister would take over that, it's her son, and she's like, "Well, I got him honey. I got him the best honey, and he's still sick." And I'm like, "Sis, this is like Manuka honey from Australia. Like it's not local. It's
yeah,
it's supposed
it's
to
not
be local."
lanolin or even a toxidant. Like for example,
Yeah,
sorry for interrupt you.
I
Like the
don't mind.
longhorn, like cows are not indigenous to America, but the longhorn cow, they are toxinous to America because they got lanolin. Like for example, you can't just bring a cow over from Eurasia and then keep on killing it. You're gonna get sick. That's why we got a lot of recalls. So
Mm,
you gotta get a particular cow, and it gotta be raised in the land for a few generations. Then it's gonna be lanolin. It's gonna be a toxinous. So, okay, go ahead.
No, absolutely. I found out recently, based on my blood type, my there's a protein in chicken that my heart cannot process.
So again, there's like five types of chickens that are a toxins, but chickens are not indigenous to America either. So there's a chick called like heritage chicken or something like that. That's the chicken that's more landlocked and then like a toxinous. So,
Mm.
but yeah, I get on to talk about nutritional ecology pretty much all day. So
Same. So, so we both don't go down a rabbit hole. I will, if you could define, well, we talked some about this, but still, define delineation. You mentioned earlier you would rather call that demarcation, to which I totally see the point. Define delineation and explain why disaggregation matters.
so to define delineation just for the live, delineation means defining a population clearly and non-hostile for accuracy and not exclusion. So desegregation allows policymakers and researchers to identify patterns that broad racial average hides. Without it, disparities are misdiagnosed and interventions fail. It's a data ethics issue, not ideological one. But with disaggregation, I mean, we could probably do it ourselves. So we don't need the government to pretty much do it. We could be our own researchers. Um, I know there's a couple of political advocacies. I'm not gonna mention their name. That wants that desegregation. I mean, from the government. I'm like, you might as well just put on your boots or your shoes, and you should go door to door, a different neighborhood, and you should probably do that yourselves. So,
Absolutely.
like, so we shouldn't be weighing on government because you don't weigh on government, then it's gonna be racialized. Like I said, people um, to talk about OMB, they wanted to call themselves uh, this certain group, but you're still going to be wrapped under the black slash African American, which means all black racial groups. Even if you're going to moralize the OMB, I want to change the definition, you're not going to change the definition. Black is international. Black British, black German. It all means the same. Black Canadian, it all means the same thing. You're not. You're gonna have to go to different countries to try to do that. It's not realistic at this moment. So
Right. So, some people reinterpret Solon to include broader Caribbean or Pan African aims. How do you respond?
it's not. You can't redefine a term that's already been defined. Um, Soulaan is a population-specific identifier tied to the toxic people in the United States, not a coalition label. That doesn't block "quote unquote" solidarity. For me, I'm not really looking for solidarity unless it's talking about finance. You're bringing any type of resources into our neighborhoods or into our population specific reality. It has to be tangible.
Hmm.
Um, and for that to happen, we got to be power begets power. We got to have power. We got to have that self determination. We can't come from a standpoint because I understand there's like I guess like humanists. They're like, oh, I just want to find because we're both oppressed, so we should go have solidarity. But you don't have self determination.
Right.
So you don't have a self determination. You're just going to be absorbed, or our population specific issue is going to fall to the wayside, and it happened over and over and over and over again. So also cooperation works best again when each group understands its own formation. Just going back to what I said, and needs shared goals don't require was it shared melanated skin or shared civilizational or origin
Hmm.
or shared quote unquote phenotype or whatnot. When there's a part of phenotype that's U.S. specific, but I mean that's a different story.
Yeah, I love that last line about how shared goals don't require shared origins. There are so many people throughout what is referred to as the African diaspora, to which many people have decided that Black Americans are part of. They are like, oh, it's giving, I'm Dominican, me no black, I'm Dominican, it's no the shame, this very famous Godfrey joke. And it's like, why are you so offended that we're not defining ourselves as Africans? It's like, oh, you think you're better than African. It's like, there's nothing wrong with you being African. There's
Like
nothing wrong. Yeah, go ahead.
like yeah, like to go to the African diaspora thing. I don't know if you asked that question. But yeah, we're not Sulans. We're not part of no African diaspora. We're a population. Our population formation was the United States. Our
Right.
autoxiny or indigeneity have the United States. We have our own diaspora.
Hmm.
Um, because again, if you even read the book on pros of belonging, it's by Dutch anthropologist, and he discussed autoxiny in detail about Africans in particular. He's an African anthropologist, and he's Dutch, but he also goes to European as well, and he discussed how different African ethnic groups were remixed so many times. So again, they have that pros of belonging. So um, like I said, not talk trash or whatnot, but a pattern. There's pattern recognition where they try to project that onto us. Which there's some people that have that pearls of belonging as well because they don't really teach our history, and I mean parents didn't really talk to them about pretty much where we're from or pretty much like the last names because like I said, my grandma talked about her surname Like you go to her town, you say, "Hey, I'm this and this," then they're gonna work you with open arms. Like they don't talk about that culture like that. They didn't have no family unions. They probably
Mm.
didn't eat some of our foods. They wasn't like land. There wasn't land online like I said earlier like that. So they'll try to reach for that purse belonging, or they got kind of psyoped into through via probably universities and stuff like that into this. Because some of the gatekeepers of these ideologies hold PhDs in different studies. So, as we seen with this one doctor, that his mural got taken off the Hidden History Museum. So,
What's the difference between the Solon flag and the Black American Heritage flag?
I mean, the Black American Heritage Flag was created in 1967 by Melvin Charles Gleason T. Jackson. It represent the pretty much our people formation at the time. I mean, in the civil rights movement. So just pretty much our ethnic pride at that time. I mean, that we're American and whatnot. Um, I mean, the original version of the Soulaan flag, because we changed it up a couple times already. Um, Ours is more based on pretty much our whole entire American history. We kind of just make it like kind of like a national flag per se. I think there was someone on TikTok that broke it down wonderfully. Um, where the indigo in the flag or the blue in the flag, we kind of made it more indigo, represents some of our ancestors that picked the indigo leaf in the South. We changed the leaves from sassafras to the indigo leaves to kind of represent that.
Hmm.
And then the sword is an amalgamation of the Buffalo Soldier sword and Civil War Navy saber. Um,
Wow.
but the original iteration we did use the symbol of the Black American Heritage flag, and we asked Melvin Charles' daughter for permission. She was, oh yeah, you can use it. So
Aw.
I didn't want to really get I didn't want us really get like too confused on it and whatnot. So it was originally it was supposed to be the homage to all that and then homage to the Black American Heritage flag, but we kind of eventually we just kind of just turn it into our own thing, just represent kind of the patriotism because we're the true patriots. Um, if you look through Sons of Liberty angle, or if you look at through the civil rights and now the human rights angle and how we influence the world. So of course, we're gonna repurpose what America means to us, not just people call it the empire or colonial. Yeah, we're gonna repurpose the call it what Beyonce? No, not Beyonce, but someone represent like what Beyonce album like kind of represents Americana. Yeah, we're gonna
Yes.
represent what Americana pretty much means. I mean, Melvin Charles himself was a veteran. Um, I'm a veteran. I'm fourth generation. So
Wow.
so
Thank
we're
you.
going so we're going no no sorry. So we're gonna repurpose pretty much what that means, and we're gonna tie it back to us as soil based people. Um, but yeah, to pretty much summarize, the Black American Heritage Flag just honors a shared historic experience and a public memory. That's why when Soulaan was created, we represent that old culture. We kind of like brought um, we researched the Black American Heritage Flag into kind of the grassroots lexicon. I mean, there were some individuals that probably knew about it before then, but I mean, it was pretty much us, the people identify as Soulaan. But again, to also to summarize what the Soulaan flag is it represents a post delineation identity as focus on continuity, rootedness, and pretty much our self determination or self definition. So one's
Mm.
commemorative, and I always rock the Black American Heritage flag, and the other
Right.
one's structural. So structural one is what I kind of described today with the Soulaan flag. And the same thing with the maroon flag. Like I see the maroon flag as um, how you call it, commemorative. So I see the Black American flag, which the it's an all black flag with the white star made in 2003. I also see that one as commemorative. So
Nice. Very nice. So, anyone listening, the red, black, and gold flag is the Black American Heritage flag, and the red, white, and blue one that the blue in it is indigo with the sword is the Soulaan flag. Uh, in case you're wondering about a distinction. So, what challenges does the Solani population face today?
shoot, I mean, same with all of us. I mean, economics, political discourse, self-determination, try to reach for cultural and economic and even ethnic sovereignty. Um, just getting back to the studying the old cultures, they try to gatekeep the old cultures. So we're just going to continue to create the new ones, and then when we create the new ones, they try to either redefine it or or they try to gatekeep it. Same thing with what they did with hip hop. But recurrence, I mean, again, identity dilution through overbroad colorization. Um,
The big one.
Again, more data gaps. So they try to racialize the data gaps that obscure the real outcomes. I mean, we talk about through medicine with the medical apartheid. We talk about jobs, economics. Like we got to create our own jobs. Like it got. I discussed in a private conversation. That's what I'm getting towards. Cultural extraction without reciprocity. I mean, it's happened. It always happens in real time. I mean, um, with the Soulaan, I mean, we got Soulaan shirts and Soulaan hoodies and all this other Soulaan stuff that's probably not even owned by um, our Soulaan populated specific people. So on Amazon, so we see it. They ain't gonna put that money into a Soulaan neighborhood.
Mm.
They ain't gonna try to help start a agricultural program that will help the kids. They're not gonna do none of that. They're just gonna go straight in their pocket. Um, Misrepresentation by non-stakeholders. I mean, yeah, we see that, and we've been seeing that in real time. So, and then narratives that frame dependency as inevitable. So, I mean, again, we see that at in real time. So, they want us to be dependent. Every time we try to self-define, they're like, "Oh, you must hate something," or they paint us as the bad guys. Well, I just ignore the conversation. I'm just going to continue building. So, there's none that they could do about it. These are solvable problems, but with only long-term and critical thinking. So,
Your view on legacy civil rights organizations. And so, for anybody in the chat who is a little bit confused by that term, when I say legacy civil rights organizations, I mean NAN, National Action Network, I mean NAACP. Um, those are legacy civil rights organizations because there is so much going on today that they are simply not addressing. And I try to say that as non disrespectfully as possible. So, your take, Dwayne.
they served their purpose at that time. Right now, it's we're going through a human rights movement. It's a human rights era. So we're trying to humanize ourselves. We look at ourselves as actual humans, distinct humans that was created in the United States. We're not no offshoots of anybody else. We're not these unnatural manufactured beings that was created out of child slavery. Our population formation happened before that. Slavery just happened upon already population formation. So,
Yeah, like it's on the timeline, but it didn't. It's not a genesis.
yep, it's definitely not Genesis. That's why I said autogenesis because autogenesis is in involuntarily. Ethnogenesis means voluntarily. That means people voluntarily came to United States and they was created. We didn't have an ethnogenesis. So Our toxiny is here. We was forged here. Um, but also like education publications, cultural frameworks, and institution tools focus on clarity. Um, oh yeah, that's something that we're gonna work on next. That's definitely something we're gonna work on next. Sustainability and then long-term resilience. But the work is slow. The work will be slow. We already got a lot of stuff planned out though. We already got a lot of stuff in the shoot. So you seen the Soulaan calendar flown around. Soulaan calendar. You seen
Yes.
some of the theologies. I got person. There's a person that's he wants to do Sufi root work. He wants to mix um aspects of Islam because some of our ancestors practice Islam. He wants to bring some of
Mm.
that. He want to make his own kind of theology with or spiritual auto spirituality with the Sufi root work. Um, People are developing languages such as Soulani language, Soulan Arabic, Soulan Spanish. So
All of that tracks.
so
All of that tracks. I used to be a very, I used to belong to the Ba'alawi Tariqa of Yemen. They are in the valley of Hadramaut, and they are the people who run that Ba'alawi Tariqa are the family of the Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the Prophet of Islam. Uh, and I practiced their form of asceticism for a long period of time in my life. And even studying Arabic and just reading the Quran through and through, it's like when you look at the way things are said and you translate it into English, some of my thoughts as a student when I was past tense, when I was a Muslim, was like, wow, this would be so much better translated into AAVE. This is so much better translated into Ebonics. Like, this literally means step off.
I'm glad you
This
said Ebonics. Yeah, because I mean, AAVE is a colonial term that the colonial powers gave. Ebonics is
Yes,
the actual true term.
yes, yes, yes. But I'm just saying all of that tracks to me. All of that tracks to me. And definitely when I was practicing Sufism, it was so close to, I was raised in the Church of God in Christ, and Bishop Mason was definitely like even the only existing pictures of Bishop Mason, who was the founder of the Church of God in Christ, he's got his roots in hand. So you see that, man. You had the laying on of hands and the speaking of tongues and the tarrying and the things like this. You would find that all over Yemen in these hadras and the way that people move and dance and whatever they do. It's very compatible. Um, so, what tends to slow progress the most? And I designed this question because, shout out to Brother Daniel. I heard you on his platform talking about people being worried about the wrong things, and that was close to my heart because I've been grassroots since I was about 8 years old. I'm just one of those kids thrown into the struggle. But people will hear a Seattle accent and decide that I'm not black enough and make a big deal of my accent when there's work to be done, or in your case or someone else's case, if you impress, I don't know, the ladies, as it were, then someone wants to fight you over it when it's like where people in a humanitarian crisis and you're worried about clicks and views and pretty girls online. Um,
I mean,
it,
you pretty much hit it on the head. So what I didn't notice, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything or try to big myself up. When the Sexy Soulon song hit, so the only people who was actually truly mad was men, like
mm,
pretty much who's supposedly quote unquote of our lineage was men, and then older women, because a lot of women was quoting that song, "Sexy Soulon," "Black American Princess." They saw all that stuff, and then they were very upset about it. Um, Actually, it was only a few. It was only a few. I'm not gonna say it was a bunch. Um, but yeah, it's all connected to what you said, the pretty girls and whatnot. I'm focused on building. I'm not really worried about all that stuff. I'm sure Maroc and T Roy can probably say the same. We just worry. We're focused on even T Roy's first video. we really haven't left that point. He was talk with the first video on TikTok. I'm pretty sure you saw it with the like the Riley on it.
Yeah, I
And was
saw it.
the voice. Yeah, we talk about trying to build our own, doing our own thing. We haven't really left from that. I came kind of more on social media. I talked about particularly supporting Soulaan businesses. I don't really see people talking about that at all. I talk about it every day. I talk about supporting a business pretty much almost every day, online, um, in person, building your own business, make your own designs, um, buying body butters, even something simple. I probably like 98% of the time when I go on these lives, and so I don't hear no one talking about any particular business or even supporting our economics. It's about some of the same topics. And then once you're bored with that topic, and then you try to talk about people's personal life, or y'all try to chill
Ooh,
like y'all friends on it, like it's some a pen pal or something like that. Then eventually it gets to arguing. Then people start cussing each other out and stuff like. And it's in a particular age group
woo,
as well. So that's one of the things that could
big
slow
age,
progress. But I
big
don't really,
age.
but I don't really think it's yeah, big age. But I don't really think it's the what was it the folks that are slowing progress. I think they're doing what exactly they're supposed to be doing. If you know what I mean. They're put there for a reason with some
Mm,
of these probably bad actors. I'm not going to say they're all bad actors, but there probably is. They're there to distract.
mm-hmm.
Because I'm in a realignment. Like I said, I'm a different person than I was last year. I was a different person the year before. I was a different person pretty much the year before. So I'm forever changing like a regular human is supposed to. I'm supposed to progress. I'm supposed to make more money than the year before. I'm supposed to be physically or mentally better than pretty much the year before. So um, yeah, a lot when you stay stagnant and you just sit there and make conversations, you check into the same job, um, and you're not making changes in your life, then yes, stuff will lead to frustration and honestly slow progress because you're just only talking about certain things. You're not really actually doing the progress
Absolutely.
because knowing is enough. You have to apply. Being willing, saying you're willing to do it, is not progress either. You must do. You have to
Right.
make it count. Um, and a lot of people they confuse yeah, unity for uniformity, and also I'm gonna be honest. People who make constant conversations with the I guess because they'll say the diaspora or make was it was it all these spaces about immigrants. I think you have based on I talk about a book, The Pros of Belonging. I think you have a pro of belonging. It's like you're talking to a brother and sister when I'm not even a sibling of them. I don't even know them.
Right.
And I drank the Kool Aid. I drank the Kool Aid. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be accountable. I did drink Kool Aid for a couple years. I was going back and forth. I'm like this is a waste of time. And I was looking through some of my old like posts and whatnot. And a lot of these people, their accounts is deleted, suspended, or locked.
Right.
So they did what they supposed to do. These were bad actors that was put in to distract you on actually talk about actual progress with and I'm talking about the I guess the immigrants and stuff like that, or people who like particularly hate Soulan people. So I'm like, I wasted. You know, I looked at myself. I'm like, I wasted so much time going back and forth with these people. I'm like, this is. I was like, this is dumb. So
I mean, the Kool-Aid is so thick because when you try to tell people that they're wasting time, they get offended. You know, you're new to the space. How dare you tell us how to be and how to act? You just got here. And I'm the type of person, I'm allergic to Groundhog Day. Okay. I'm allergic to Groundhog Day when people are waking up and doing the same thing every single day. And I'm not saying that against consistency, but I'm like, there is no improvement, there is no change. How has this not driven you crazy yet? You have not grown. You are arguing with the same people. You are making the same points. You are dragging the same insults. All you do is scream all day online at people you do not know. You are yelling at your monitor. Your phone smells like breath. You have to wipe your screen because you've been yelling to the point where you've spit on your phone. Go do something.
And like I said, I'm still a millennial, but let's see. I'm gonna go to this video game I played when I was a little kid called Chrono Trigger. It was on the PlayStation and Super Nintendo. I played on PlayStation because I was too young for Super Nintendo. So the main bad guy that pretty much like destroyed the world in 1999 was this alien called Lavos. So you had the chance to beat this little alien thing, Lavos, at any time. And if you failed to kill it and you got killed by the alien, so after you died, it goes to an ending in 1999 where I guess like two scientists were talking about, oh, there's this lavos is coming up from the because lavos went down into like the into the ends of Earth in like 65 million BC or whatnot. Just to give you a little lore. But in 1999, he came up after he absorbed enough of the Earth and pretty much destroyed the Earth. So at the ending of that whole thing, it says the future refused to change, and those words stick by me because if we don't, if we stay stagnant or we fail to accomplish the mission as we set out to do, then the future will refuse to change. You can cut
Mm.
that out if you want in your life, but
No, I'm
uh,
not cutting nothing. I appreciate this.
but uh, but again, healthy human ecosystems in general depends on being different, being distinct people groups, and cooperation, working together. And that's why I see a lot of these people who argue or talk about delineation all the time. Is really projecting. So they really honestly want to deal with some of these other people, or they be in their DMs.
Mhm.
Like they going way too hard. Like you saying some crazy stuff. You work at G4S or you work at that school or something like that, and they gonna hear you gonna get fired.
Right.
You act like you don't got a job. Maybe some people don't got a job, but I don't know.
That part.
People. I know people like to front on here, but I'm done there.
Well, I've held you hostage slightly past. I know you were committed to giving us an hour. We're only 3 minutes over, but I guess on a positive note, really, you can say whatever you want to say, whatever you feel like is pertinent to the conversation that we have not covered. But this last question just says, on a positive note, what progress have you seen with this new ethnonym, Solon? The progress that this word has brought to us.
I see a lot more business. Like I said, I saw the student associations and the student unions. Um, like I said, I seen a lot of us like our age because we're going to take over. I mean, the next 10 years, we're going to be the new, I guess, like Gen X or whatnot.
Mhm.
We're going to be ones in the political. I seen or in the political seats or um, pretty much be the matriarchies or patriarchals of the family. Um, yeah, I have seen a lot. I seen a more of a nuance and a better point of view and better solutions and more how you call it emotionally intelligent conversations around different subjects instead of like you said people yelling on the mic or um, we're going to get free or we actually have actual solutions especially in economically. So also, and when it comes to that public discourse, it's better discourse about population identity where we're having such a productive conversation. We don't have a lot of bad actors. Nothing they could really debunk. I think I had space. There was some guy who was half Haitian, half Soulaan, apparently, and
Uh-oh.
he was trying to say, "Oh, we African." I'm like, "Hey, I respect your opinion, but I'm gonna talk
Right.
about this. This is what I'm gonna talk. I still send her a conversation, and they eventually just left because it didn't really phase me. I'm like, all right, okay, okay, cool. So, um, like I said, I didn't go back forth with him. I didn't talk about his population formation. I didn't do none of that because it's not really going to accomplish anything. Because he's coming to me on a place of weakness. I'm not coming to him. I'm not acquiescing to even entertain his conversation.
Right.
So, because it's irrelevant, because I already know it's not true. He knows it's not true. Because he knows he's not going to say that about himself. He's not going to go to his family and say that about himself. He's going to talk about his specific population origin and then their culture.
Right.
So, um, and yeah, we have great comfort and kind of respectful demarketization. So, and not delineation, because delineation again just means like you're delineating from who. Why are we separating from who when we're on our own league? We got 50,000 patents. I mean, we win the Olympics. We dominate the Olympics every
Right.
single time. Create a modern doorknob, modern toilet. Um,
GPS.
yes, GPS. We're
Uh,
diplomats. We're like diplomats. Like we've been
Skype.
almost. Yep, Skype, the
The call
phone pieces,
waiting
video game systems.
console, clicking over, three-way
So
conference calls, home security. We could go on.
yeah, we go on pretty much all day. The civil rights and even leading in the human rights movement, they acquiesce to us. They look at us when they try to mimic what we're going on.
And
So
then the world followed. And
hmm
then the world followed. Like, was human rights even a thing prior to having an example set? And I don't mean to, like, I don't know, make it sound that simple, but it's like, I mean, you've been in the service, so you've been around the world. You've seen probably the worst of human beings and human interaction. And I feel personally that our people have, through our struggles, we have civilized the world because our struggle was televised, because it was all over the place. People took inspiration from us and wrote books. And well, the Black Americans are doing this, and the Panthers are doing this, and the civil rights, these freedom writers are doing this, and these sit-ins, and they're doing this, and these water hoses and these marches, and we shall overcome, and these German shepherds and these dogs that are fighting these fourth grade girls, and they're standing for this, and maybe we should do this too. It was damn near like a prophet presenting a religion in terms of our effect on global human rights and the dignity of all mankind. So, I mean, we could go invention for invention, we could go tech for tech, we could go sport for sport, but I mean, people can't go humanitarian influence for humanitarian influence when it comes to us. People want to. I had somebody try to Mahatma Gandhi me, and I'm like, wasn't that a racist? Like, wasn't that an anti? Like, wasn't he anti whatever the darker people of his people were? Anyhow, not too much on them folk. But I love that something you said about what was it? It's not on here, but when I think of the term Solon and imagine it on, how the term black owned has been co opted, that's something that really like butters my toast. because I will look up things. People I know will like, oh, I want to go get my tire fixed. Let me get on this app and find the first black owned this or that, black owned store, black owned mechanic, whatever. And it'll say that. And you get there and there's no English. And it's like, well, this isn't what I was looking for. I was looking for my brother. I was definitely looking for Deontay. And I got here and it's Ubuntu store. It said black owned. Like, how did this happen? And it's not that there's anything wrong with supporting them, but it's just like, well, damn, what do these words even mean anymore? So Solon kind of comes, like no pun intended, S on its chest, like da da da
S-
da. Here you go.
Soulaan certified.
Love it. I love it. Um, I really thank you for doing this on short notice, doing this for free when your words are worth money. Is there anything that you would like to add that we didn't talk about before we go?
No, not really. Um, I mean, I might start a TikTok live and uh, s- speak on a few things. I do want to do a kind of a call to action, just based on some of what we discussed as well. If people want to come over there, we could discuss about it.
Oh man, I'm already there. I got my phone in my hand. Like I'm already there. So okay, and I will spare you asking you my very specific journalistic questions on your live. But that concludes what we have to share today. Una Cousins, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being here and taking in the conversation because this is about us, right? This is about us. Everybody in the chat here is Solon, each and every one of us. So when it comes to so many things that we've done, we get squeezed out of our own movements. We get squeezed out of the civil rights. Now it's all extra LGBTQ. No one's thinking about us. And so this serves to refocus our movements and our efforts upon us. So spread the word, share the live, not because it's mine, but because it's yours. You feel me? Don't share the live because it's mine. Share it because it's yours. It's about you. It's about us. So I'm uppity and I'm out of here. I'll see you, Dwayne, immediately on TikTok. Uppity and I'm out.